Hey wild ones, I'm Lucy and this is Pussy Powered. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a sensual morning ritual that will help to connect with your body, connect with your sexual energy, and set you up for an inspired day. Starting your day with intention and purpose and energy sets up the foundation for your whole day. And over time, the cumulative effect of continuously, consistently showing up for yourself has amazing effects neurologically, physically, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, you name it. It's one of the key things in my life that supports my ongoing transformation and growth. If you're at a point where you're looking for continuous transformation and a safe space to explore and discover new depths of yourself, a morning ritual may be just the thing for you. In particular, a sensual one. This is simply a template, a collection of practices that have served me really powerfully. So whatever resonates with you, I encourage you to give it a try. And remember that it's better in the long run to establish one habit at a time than to add everything in. So if this seems totally overwhelming, like, wow, that's a lot, you'd be better off picking 1 to 3 practices that you're feeling drawn to and then consistently practice those for at least a month and see how you may want to tweak it and make it your own. So let's get into it. First, free-flowing movement. This step is really about getting your heart rate up, getting the energy moving through your body without overthinking it or needing to do some kind of complicated choreography. You're literally just moving your body to whatever music you want to play. I personally like to listen to some old 90s dance hits that gets me going in the morning, and it immediately gets me into this youthful, energized state. Turn on your music, move however your body wants to move. Something as simple as just like a jump in place, moving side to side, shaking your body, twerking, old school dance moves, lawnmower, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to do. First thing I do when I start my morning routine is turn on that song, Sandstorm from the 90s. I can't play the song here because it will be copyrighted, but just imagine it. Jumping, and I move my hands, and they're doing whatever they want to do. Boom, 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 boom. Woo! And it is a workout. Gotta fix my hair now. And you can do this for 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, 5 songs, however long you feel like you need to spend in this step. I personally love to do about 15 minutes of this kind of continuous dance movement before moving on to the second thing, brief yoga flow. If you have a yoga practice and it takes longer, you have another time of the day that you dedicate to that, then you can either do a really quick yoga flow just to get more connected and in tune with your body, or you can skip this step altogether. I personally now love to do my own kind of yoga flow based on what I feel my body wants to do or what my body needs that morning. But if you're new to yoga, then I highly suggest checking out so many different videos that are available right here on YouTube by looking up 10-minute yoga flow, 15-minute yoga flow. You can find some intense yoga flows. You can find some more easygoing yoga flows. The key here is to find whatever resonates with you and then consistently do that. The third thing is a little bit of breath work. There are so many different ways to do breath work, and I'm not about to go in depth into that. Something as simple as doing a 7-count deep inhale and a 10-count full exhale helps to connect with the power of your breath. And that will definitely get you out of your comfort zone and more mindful about your breath filling your body and fully releasing from your body. And by the way, I do have some breathwork practices in the Pussy Fit program, since the breath is an integral part of strengthening the pelvic floor. And really as little as 1 minute of deep mindful breathing helps to bring copious fresh oxygen to your brain and your body. Step number 4, meditation. This is something that can take as little as 5 minutes or as much as 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, however long you have in your morning or however long you want to take to do this practice. And during your meditation, keep in mind that the point is not to be completely empty of thoughts. Practice instead noticing what thoughts arise and allowing them to just float on by. It helps to have one singular point of focus. For example, your breath, or the sound of a steady drum beating. You can also find that on YouTube. Or the sound of a clock, if you have a clock. Something that isn't distracting and jolting, but rather help you focus on one singular thing. And so when you notice your mind wandering, you can just say, oh, cool, my mind's wandering. and then return right back to whatever that focus point is. I hear so many people say that they're bad at meditation, and you simply cannot be bad at meditation. What's actually happening when people think that they're bad at meditation is they have these expectations that they're just gonna be all like zen and have zero thoughts and will never be distracted. So release that expectation right off the bat. It is a practice. In fact, if you were to begin meditating every single day, I would say give yourself at least 6 months before you're able to sit there for any length of time without constant distractions coming in. There are so many benefits to meditation that I'm not even going to begin to list here as you practice releasing resistance and attachment to your thoughts. Next are morning declarations. I like to call them declarations instead of affirmations because sometimes affirmations, the association with that is like saying things that are not true that you want really badly to be true, whereas a declaration is a matter-of-fact statement. I am abundance. I am prosperity. I am well-being. I am inspiration. I am love. I am compassion. I am energy. There's so much more aliveness in the energy of declarations. And those are a few examples of my daily declarations, which if they resonate with you, go ahead and add them to yours. And by the way, I recently made a video with declarations for a fucking amazing day, which you can find right here. And a downloadable audio version can be found at the link below, along with some other cool guided rituals and audios. So be sure to check that out. Next up, energy flow. Now, when I'm talking about energy flow, it's more of a self-Reiki. But if you're not familiar with Reiki or you don't know how to do it or you haven't gotten any certifications or trainings in it, don't worry. You can simply begin by imagining pure loving energy, usually white or blue, flowing in from the crown of your head. I like to use my palms, see how that feels for you, and I imagine that that energy is flowing from my palms into the crown of my head, then moving it down into my head, flowing that energy down into my throat, and then over the heart, chest, down into the rib cage, into the sacral area, womb space, and all the way down to my tailbone, and then continuing that flow to the tips of my toes. From that point, what I personally love to do is to imagine drawing up energy from the earth, up through my feet, and all the way up to the crown of my head. Now that is a really super quick synopsis of that energy flow. You can do a really quick scan, or you can take your time with each energy center or each area of your body and check in with yourself. Where is there tension? Where do you feel tingles? Where do you feel really good? Where do you feel nothing? And again, like the other things, this too is a practice. The longer that I have had this practice in place, the more that I literally feel tingles transferring from the palms of my hand to various parts of my body. So I encourage you to practice working with your energy. And last but not least, the grand finale, self-pleasure ritual. Now, I usually do this at the very end, but every once in a while, I'll do it after yoga if the energetic juices are flowing through my body. But whether you do this earlier in your ritual or at the very end, the whole point of a self-pleasure ritual, which by the way I have a whole video on right here, is to practice releasing resistance and being present with what is. The point is not orgasm. This is not like a quick rub one out session. This is a mindful connection with your pussy, with your creative, sexual, life force energy, and an opportunity to check in with what's going on in your body, what has not been expressed that you need to express. A time to notice if you are disconnected from your body or if your body is putting up some defensive walls towards you for whatever reason, maybe broken trust like I talked about in last week's videos. And it's an opportunity to intimately repair broken trust with your pussy, with your femininity, with your sexuality. So for this, I usually recommend that women spend a minimum of 15 minutes feeling and noticing what is tense, what's numb, what feels good, what's maybe uncomfortable, what's like, ooh, that's interesting, I haven't quite felt that before, and just exploring playfully with no expectations and an open mind and a lot of self-compassion and patience. Your pussy has experienced enough pressure and external expectations. Let this be a sacred time of reconnection, not a time of pressure and judgment. And by the way, if you are using a pleasure wand or a glass dildo, especially one of the amazing glass wands from my Etsy shop, be sure to check out this video for some really luscious insertion techniques. techniques, just to give you a few ideas. So again, no pressure to come, but if you do have an orgasm, be sure to give yourself a few minutes, a few moments at least, to just completely bask in the glory of that orgasmic energy. And as you are, imagine the kind of day that you want to have, or focus that powerful life force energy into whatever it is that you are actively manifesting in your life. And most importantly, give yourself permission to feel fucking amazing. After all, orgasm happens in a moment of complete surrender, the ultimate releasing of resistance. So enjoy that. Enjoy that whole experience. And whenever you feel like your morning ritual is complete, wrap it up however you feel like you want to wrap it up. I like to thank the universe for this amazing experience that I just had, and sometimes I'll journal about any big revelations that came up, or some downloads, some messages that came through, ideas, inspirations, and then I'll simply move on with my day, have my coffee, get some work done. You do you. So there you have it, wild ones. Ideas for a sensual morning routine that will help to set you up for an amazing day. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on sexual empowerment and healing for women. And if you're ready to go deeper in unpacking the sexual limiting beliefs, resensitizing your pussy for pleasure, and exploring more of your pleasure capacity, check out my program Pussy Magic. Or if you want to strengthen your pelvic floor in a fun, sexy way, check out my program Pussy Fit. And of course, all the free goodies are at the link below as well. So if you haven't gotten access to those yet, I highly recommend you take a peek at those links. In the meantime, here's to your awakening and healing for a pussy-powered life.